Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Quick housekeeping. Check out the affiliate links in our description. Using them supports the show, and please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're looking into something that really turned heads in the AI world recently, set the whole industry buzzing. For years, if you follow the big tech players, OpenAI and Microsoft seemed, well, almost inseparable, right? Like this unbreakable team in the AI race.
It really did. And honestly, this new development, it caught a lot of people off guard. I mean, when you think about the sheer scale needed for today's AI.
It's huge.
It is. We're talking massive models, these truly colossal things, and the compute demands are just soaring, like through the roof.
Right.
Just to give you a sense, a single big training run, that can cost maybe hundreds of millions of dollars just in compute time.
Wow.
So yeah, getting access to more infrastructure, diversifying it, it's not just smart strategy anymore, it's almost an economic necessity.
So it forces hands, even between rivals.
Exactly. It really shows that when the stakes get this high in AI, even, long-standing competitors might find a reason to team up.
Okay, so this unexpected news, OpenAI partnering with Google Cloud for compute, broke around June 16th, 2025. From news reports.
That's right.
So our mission today is to kind of unpack what this collaboration really means. What are the implications for AI competition, for how these companies work together, maybe, and how it might just reshape the whole AI cloud scene.
Yeah.
It brings up some big questions, doesn't it? About like centralization, control, who's responsible ethically as we race towards AGI.
Towards artificial general intelligence, yeah. That hypothetical point where AI gets as smart or smarter than us.
Exactly.
It's a really fascinating turn. And to get the full picture, I think we need to start with OpenAI's backstory. Yeah, their history with Microsoft.
Okay, let's do that. So OpenAI, the folks behind ChatGPT, GPT-4, all those breakthroughs, they've leaned really heavily on Microsoft Azure for years.
Absolutely. It wasn't just casual. Microsoft poured billions into OpenAI. Azure was the engine room.
Right. But here's the crunch they hit. These AI models. They're getting way smarter, but also vastly more complicated. And that means their appetite for computing power just grows and grows.
Yeah.
Exponentially, really.
It's a huge challenge. I mean, think of it like this analogy I heard. Going from, say, a skateboard to a spaceship.
Okay.
To make that spaceship fly, you need just an unbelievable amount, more power, more complex engineering, way beyond the skateboard.
A lot more juice. Yeah.
Exactly. And that jump in compute needs, it's not just about being faster, it's handling models with like hundreds of billions, maybe trillions of parameters.
Yeah.
That needs insane parallel processing, massive memory.
So the ambition just outpaced the available resources, even from a giant like Microsoft.
It seems that way. The scale just got, almost too big for one provider, even Azure, to handle alone, especially at the pace OpenAI wants to move.
And that's where Google Cloud comes in.
Precisely. Google Cloud steps in with its own really robust infrastructure. And crucially, there's specialized AI hardware like TPUs.
TPUs, tensor processing units.
Yep. Custom chips Google designed specifically for machine learning. They can be way more efficient than standard GPUs for training these enormous models. Okay.
And this deal, it was actually finalized back in May 2025, apparently, just before the news got out. It just signals how intense this AI race is.
Right.
Companies are having to get really creative, find solutions wherever they can, even if that means, dancing with the competition, so to speak.
So practically speaking, what's happening now? Under the hood.
Well, it seems pretty direct. OpenAI is now using Google Cloud's systems, their servers, their TPUs, to train and run some of its AI models.
So it's not a total break from Microsoft.
Doesn't seem like it. More like diversification, that classic don't put all your eggs in one basket strategy.
Okay, makes sense. Reduces reliance on just Microsoft.
Exactly. And for OpenAI, the upside is potentially scaling faster, maybe rolling out even more advanced models sooner, because the demand for AI is just climbing like crazy.
And you mentioned the secrecy. Reuters said OpenAI, Google, Microsoft were all pretty quiet about it.
Yeah, really tight-lipped until it leaked, which, adds a bit of drama to it all. Definitely suggests it's a big strategic move they wanted to manage carefully. But beyond this strategy, talk more about the sheer technical need for this.
Okay, yeah, the tech side is kind of wild to think about. Training these huge AI models, it's sort of like trying to teach a super genius robot everything about the world all at once.
Like feeding it the entire internet.
Pretty much. Books, images, audio, everything, and then asking it to find patterns, make connections. That process takes just a ridiculous amount of computing power.
Weeks, months.
Weeks, sometimes months, constantly crunching data, adjusting billions of parameters. It needs immense sustained power.
A scale that's hard to even grasp.
Totally. So Google Cloud is essentially helping carry some of that massive computational load.
Which matters because
Because the costs and the specialized equipment needed for this cutting-edge AI, they're just off the charts. Specialized chips, huge energy costs for power and cooling, massive data storage.
So it's not about being friends, it's practical.
Absolutely. It feels like a very practical fix for a problem, this compute bottleneck that's only getting bigger as AI advances so quickly. It's about staying ahead in a race where compute is the currency.
Okay, so given how big this is, what are the leaders saying? Any reactions from the top?
Well, Google's CEO, Sundar Pichai, had a pretty interesting take. Diplomatic, you could say.
What did he say?
He said something like, there is room for multiple winners in the AI sector. And he even added, charmingly, that a major competitor invited him to a dance.
Oh. Okay, so acknowledging the cooperation without maybe revealing too much? Pragmatic.
Very pragmatic. It suggests, when the need is this great pure rivalry, takes a back seat to getting things done.
And what about industry analysts? How are they seeing this?
They're definitely seeing it as significant. One analyst suggested this could actually redefine competitive dynamics, maybe set new standards for AI cloud services.
What might change the whole game?
Potentially. It hints that maybe the future isn't just us versus them. Maybe it's more complex, more collaborative, at least on the infrastructure level, because the challenge is just too big for any one company alone at the absolute frontier.
Makes sense. And the public. What's the buzz on social media, like on X?
Oh yeah, X was definitely buzzing. Some really sharp takes. Like, at IQ companies pointed out something quite profound.
Which was?
They said, OpenAI's new deal with Google Cloud shows the scale of compute needs and the risk of centralization. And then they added, the future of AGI won't just depend on intelligence, it'll depend on who owns the infrastructure.
Who owns the infrastructure?
Yeah, and how aligned that infrastructure is with public good. That really hits home, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's heavy. It's not just about the smart AI, but who controls the actual machines, the engine room running it all.
Exactly. Especially as we think about AGI and its potential impact, who holds the keys?
Yeah.
That's a massive question for society, for fairness, for who benefits.
Really highlights the power dynamics beyond just the algorithms.
Definitely. And then you had others, like at A Consultancy One, just capturing the surprise of it all.
What did they say?
Something like, plot twist, OpenAI just inked a deal with Google Cloud. That's right, rivals in public, partners in compute.
Huh. Yeah, that nails the feeling, right? That tension between how they compete publicly and the practical realities they face privately.
It really does. It shows that, sometimes pragmatism just has to win out when you're pushing the limits like this. Shared problems needing shared, or at least diversified, solutions.
Okay, so let's look forward. What are the big implications here? What's the future look like?
Well, on the positive side, the potential is huge. With access to Google Cloud's resources, OpenAI might accelerate things even faster.
Like what?
Like whipping up AI models that could genuinely shake up fields like healthcare, education, entertainment.
Give me some examples.
Okay, picture AI getting much better, much quicker at spotting diseases from scans. Or imagine truly personalized education, where lessons adapt instantly to each student's needs and pace.
That would be incredible.
Or AI helping create dynamic, interactive entertainment, whole virtual worlds maybe. It could speed up those kinds of breakthroughs. Pretty cool stuff, potentially.
Okay, that's the promise. But you mentioned concerns earlier.
Yeah.
The catch.
Right, the catch. And it ties back to that centralization worry. This deal, while practical, does sort of reinforce the concentration of this critical AI infrastructure within just a few giant tech companies.
Microsoft, Google, maybe Amazon.
Exactly. And someone on X at AlignSI made a great point about this. They asked, when your intelligence is scattered across competing clouds, ask yourself, who's really in control? The model or the infrastructure?
Oof. That's a really sharp question. Who is in control?
It's a profoundly fair point, isn't it? When just a handful of companies hold the keys to the kingdom, the compute power for the most advanced AI, it naturally raises flags, worries about power, monopolies, ethics.
Access bias.
All of that. So finding ways to keep that in check, to ensure the benefits are shared broadly, that innovation isn't just locked up, that's going to be crucial going forward. We need a more, inclusive AI ecosystem.
And thinking even broader. Could this OpenAI Google deal be just the start?
It really could be. As the compute needs for even more advanced AI, maybe even early AGI, keep climbing, we might see more unexpected partnerships.
Or new rules of the game.
Maybe new standards for how cloud services support AI, facilitating these kinds of collaborations. It could keep reshaping the whole competitive landscape in ways we can't quite foresee yet. A more interconnected maybe, but still fiercely competitive AI cloud world.
It's definitely a space to watch. Super dynamic.
Absolutely. This move really sets a precedent.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. OpenAI hooking up with Google Cloud. It feels like a really massive moment for AI, doesn't it?
It really does.
Driven by just these insane compute demands for the next generation of models. And it shows pretty powerfully that even the biggest rivals might need to link arms when the tech stakes are this high.
A pragmatic alliance, yeah.
And it could definitely speed up breakthroughs, get us all excited, maybe a little nervous too, about what's coming next in AI.
For sure. And as we watch AI keep growing, keep evolving so fast, this partnership, well, it really does nudge us, doesn't it, to think hard about who's actually steering the ship.
The control question again.
Yeah, that question of who controls the infrastructure and how we ensure it's aligned ethically for the common good, that's going to be central as we navigate towards AGI, making sure these incredible tools really do serve everyone.
A lot to think about.
Definitely. And we hope you keep exploring this evolving landscape right along with us.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.